Okay. So you've seemed to find what works for you during the quarantine with your new virtual interview series. Can you
Mhm.
describe what the experience was like being a judge for this virtual competition series?
Oh man, it was really dope. You know, I got my start at the Apollo Theater. I won 4 weeks in a row. That's how I started. And
Okay.
so I know all about competition. I know all about fighting for your life. And so the way this works is if you see, when you see the man on the plane, the pilot, he says, we have 170 souls on board. He doesn't say people, souls. And so when I look at me and I look at the hunger I had when I started, even though the music has changed, I see the same hunger in these young kids, and they're fighting. You know, they want to buy their mama a house. They
Exactly.
want to, you know, they going for it, and male and female. Um, and so I love that about them, and the fact that we could uh possibly give a helping hand, a boost to a future star. You know, a superstar is amazing to me.
I know T Lion was the one who ended up winning the whole competition. For those who didn't see or didn't tune into it live, can you describe or explain what exactly makes him special or why he won?
You know, he was better, and that night, he
Okay.
was better that night. And it's actually amazing, and it was hard. He was so good, we couldn't hate on him. He was just too good, right? That night, right? And Venus on Earth, if you asked me if she was produced right, she would be a bigger star in the long run.
Okay.
And so that's where I was conflicted. I was like, man, this guy killed him, right? Performance wise and everything. But I was like, if it was my record label, I would sign this girl because I think she's going to be a superstar. So it was all, and then the other young lady, she had the better song out of all three of them. She just ain't perform it confidently, you
Yeah.
know. So it's just a bunch of things that go into, you know, for the reason why I chose who I chose.
Right. Is
And
this
T Lions, he's incredible.
Yeah, is this something that you can see growing into like maybe like on a versus type of level? Because the COVID pandemic, we don't know when it's gonna end, and we have to continue like trying to connect with the audience. So how do you
Well,
think?
that was the reason. That was the reason for linking up with Trilla. That was the reason for doing it. Pepsi Wild Cherry, doing the first virtual uh, challenge for new artists, and it was fun because it's all safe. It was thousands of kids gave in their original songs, thousands. Then it was numbered down to 10 out of 1,000. And you could imagine these crazy guys, their swag. It was just too much going, like fly. It was dope. So we picked out the 10. I know the people voted the 10, and then we voted for the last three, the Dream Team. Now, the Dream Team is Mulatto. The Dream Team is Shauna. Shauna's a branding and marketing genius. She manages Mary J. Blige. We had Mike Will. You know the type of hits Mike Will's done. Quay, the hottest new young producer in the game, period. And myself. I mean, I couldn't believe that we assembled such a dream team. It really is a dream team. Like it really was. And Mulatto, you know, she's the upcoming female rapper right now who's going to the top, and she started in the competition. So all of it is relevant.
Yeah, I like it. I like the new ways that we're connecting with the audience because we need to like kind of just bring some life into these gloomy times. Like, I don't know where you're located, but I'm in New York. Every time I wake up, it's gloomy every day.
Clouds.
Yeah.
Well, you know, that's why I moved out of New York. And I've been living in Miami for it's sunny right now. They jumping in the pool. So that's why I moved out of New York like 18 years ago. Uh but it's crazy because my wife and my daughter want to move back so bad, and they're like, New York, let's go back. And I'm like, yo, y'all bugging out. Everybody tells me I'm crazy. I'm telling everybody y'all moving back. They tell me I'm crazy. But yeah, this was to bring the light. And 2021, I call it the year of the light. And we're gonna leave 2020 in the past. We know we had a lot of pain. A lot of people lost their jobs. We lost a lot of family members. But the only way to get out of that what you call it, a mud or ruck, you called this something, the ruck. You said it's gloomy. So the only way to get out of the gloomy days is to look towards the light.
I like
And
that.
so it's the only way. So, I've been with my wife 26 years. Sometimes we have the biggest fights you ever thought of in your life that night. And we wake up in the morning like, what's up, baby? How you doing? Like, it's the only way. You can't argue about last night's argument. You done if you continue it. So you got to look towards the light. And that's how we started off the year with a bang with the Triller, the Pepsi Wild Cherry Challenge, in your wildest dreams. And we got to continue to do that.
Yeah, definitely. So I want to touch more on the quarantine. How has the quarantine affected you? Like, a lot of people said that they've learned so much about themselves. What did you learn about yourself, or what do you appreciate more now that you didn't before?
I'm built for everything. Fat Joe is built for everything. I'm not gonna lie to you. I adjusted. This was the Roman days. I would have had a sword on the front line. Like, I'm built. Was I scared? I was terrified. A lot of my friends died. Especially in New York, that was the epicenter. So every day I would get a phone call that this one and that one. And guys I used to coach at the Ruck in Harlem died. All the security guys from all the clubs in New York that I've been seeing for 20 years that I perform at, they died. Everybody's mother that we know since the beginning of time, these women that are like 90 years old and we thought they would never die, they all died of the COVID. So I'm hearing this every day and I'm scared to death. So then it says it attacks overweight people. It attacks people with diabetes. Well, that's me. I'm pre-diabetic. I'm overweight. So I was scared. And so my daughter, she's 14. She said, let's go on live. I said, let's go on live. And she's the executive producer of the show. And we went on, and so people came on, and we clicked on people, and they was telling me how scared they was, and I was trying to show them the light at that time. And we was just talking, and before I knew it, it became therapeutic. And the next day, it was like 8 o'clock, and I was like, yo, let's go back on live at 8 o'clock. And then we did it 3 days in a row, and then we was like, you know what? That's it. We going on every day at 8 o'clock. We gonna turn up. We gonna get it lit. And we talked about domestic violence. We had all type of doctors on here, all type of psychiatrists, politicians, Cory Booker, AOC, Hakeem Jeffries, Jumani, whoever you name was on here. And it's pretty much informative on every aspect, but always with a hip hop view.
Yes, that's what I love about
always with a hip hop view. So it's like, I interviewed Dr. Fauci. The first thing I asked Dr. Fauci was, yo, Fauci, they want to know when they can go back in the strip clubs. Yeah, and I know that's crazy, but that's what my people want to hear about. That's what they want. Like, so I know he's like, yo, this guy's crazy, but no, yo, Fauci, they want to know. You know what I'm saying? So that's who I speak to. You know what I mean? And I keep bringing guests of triumph, guests who came from nothing and made it into millionaires. And how did they make it? Did they believe that they did? Last night I had a guy, he was like the #1 gambler. They banned him from gambling. Now he gives tips. The point is, he came from nothing, and now he's worth $100 million, whatever the case. So I always bring them stories. And a lot of people don't know that people that look like me and you, their stories never really get told. And I hear and I meet so many successful ones, billionaires and millionaires, and came up with, I got my girl, her name is Carolyn, she got into 10 hair products. She was a beautician. She used to do hair. She didn't like the product she was using. She invented a product. Now she makes $400 million a year. And so it's like I bring people like this on all the time to inspire people who might have a plan, but didn't really have that. And then it might be like, it clicked. Yo, I'm going to go for it. I can do it.
Out of all the actors who are doing interview series now, I must say, and I'm not just saying this because it's talking now, you definitely have one of my favorite series. It's just real thoughtful, and it's not like just, I like the serious topics, and I like the angle that you have on those topics because it's important and we do need to talk about it.
Thank you so much. But that's and you know, for so many years when it comes to hip hop journalists, it's always been based on clickbait. It's always been based on negative. It's always been based on jamming up our people. And, you know, somebody's so lucky enough to you, Fat Joe, you say, all right, I'm interviewing Fat Joe today. I'm not trying to gas myself for nothing, but Fat Joe, living legend in hip hop. No,
I'm from New York. You know?
No, but I'm saying, but if Fat Joe gives you the opportunity to interview him, why would you be trying to jam up Fat Joe? If you saying Fat Joe's a legend, he's an icon. And I just kept seeing this. And you know who taught me this was a young artist. I never remember his name, but I was watching the interview and they told me, hey, what you think about this guy? He said, I don't know. I like his music. Yo, what you think about this guy? And he was like, I don't know him. And they said, what you think? He said, bro, I came up here to talk about my album. See, what you guys try to do is ask me about other guys. And then when I say something wrong, before you know it, I got rap beef. Exactly. And you guys got all your little clickbait and you got all your views. And now I got rap beef. I'm not going for that. A young boy taught me this. I saw it. I said, man, you know, they've been doing this to me for years.
Like he was,
and I didn't pick up on it.
Before we get kicked out of here, though, I just want to know, do you the COVID vaccine after speaking to Fauci and speaking to these medical professionals, do you feel comfortable taking the vaccine?
1,000,000%.
Okay.
And I took my mother and father yesterday to get the vaccine at 6 in the morning. So I went, I picked them up, I took them, you know, I forced them to get the vaccine. Like, yo, y'all better get the vaccine. And so we went there, and I don't think they're going to create a vaccine and give it to doctors and nurses and cops and firemen first, and then going to, like, I don't think they're trying to, you know, in the hood, we have too many tales of different things, and everybody want to say, oh, I don't know. But we done did the craziest things on earth, just 1,000,000 times worse than a vaccine. So I told my mother and father, because my aunt from the Bronx, and she ain't trying to hear the vaccine. I was like, yo, don't listen to her. I said, don't listen to her. We going to get this vaccine. And thank God we was able to get it.
Okay, one more question before we go. We spoke 2 years ago at Urban World Film Festival, and you did say that you were going to flex your acting chops a little bit more. Can your fans expect to see you in any TV shows or films coming up?
Well, we got the big show that we're going to expand. Right now, we on Revolt, but me and Diddy are partners, and we're looking to do it like in the Amazon or Netflix space. And I'm looking to become like the new David Letterman. No lie. No lie. So Arsenio Hall meet David Letterman, you know, performances, the set, the dish, you know, the J-Lo's, the Beyoncé's, the Drake's interviews, the Jay-Z's, you know. So that's what I'm really focused on now, you know. And I'm also, I own a movie. I sold a movie to Warner Brothers. So we're in the process of writing that script and getting it done. And so I'm just trying to elevate on in the media world, of film, television world. Will I act? Yes.
Thank you for your time. This was definitely legendary for me as a New York native, you know, growing up in Brooklyn. Hopefully we can speak again when the movie comes out. We
will. And I'm good. And if you watch my wife on Instagram and she has a beret, she stole your swag.
Thank you.
All
Thanks
right,
so much,
bye-bye.
Stephanie.
Bye. Take care.